Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. And today I'm doing a quick unboxing video here, sharing with you my first impressions, first reactions. You can probably tell by my voice I'm a little bit under the weather, but still getting this video recorded and out to you guys. To be honest, I think this one's coming in via a knife pass around, but I'm not entirely sure. We're about to find out together. And doing the honors today is a grail of mine. I've been having a really always have a good time carrying this one. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I really look forward to owning this one for a long time. Of course, I'm talking about my titanium diamond pattern version of the Demko AD 20.5 with the shark's lock and the shark's foot blade config right there. Of course, this knife and every other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below. So if you're interested in checking prices, availability, variants, all that good stuff, check those links in the description and also in the pinned comments. And it does help out the channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you and at zero extra cost. That being said, let's just go ahead and make a nice cut right here, another cut right there. Bada bing, bada boom, right? That sheep's foot or shark's foot blade, as they call it, putting in some work, all right, with a 20 CV steel, stonewashed. And yes, I knew this box looked familiar a little bit, a Blade HQ box. And we have, all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready, I'm ready. The American Blade Works, right? And I think that's about it in the box. Is there anything else? Bunch of peanuts everywhere. You can tell this one is nicely packaged right there. That's awesome. And let me just get this out of the way here really quick. Not the first time we see an American Blade Works in the channel. Always a pleasure, always a treat to check these out. These are made in the USA by a guy in his shop. So we've checked out at least two models before. I'm excited to check this one out. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Here we go. All right, we're not going to delay the process at all. Well, here is the knife. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. Here is a American Blade Works sticker there and some bearings there. So I'm pretty sure these might be the OG ones perhaps. And I know Lefty EDC, which by the way, this is coming via the Lefty EDC knife pass around. So shout out to Lefty himself for sharing this one with a number of other smaller YouTube channels like myself. And of course, shout out to American Blade Works for sharing this pass around version for me to check out and share with you guys. But pretty sure these might be the original ones. And then Kevin, aka Lefty, went ahead and skiffed it up a bit by putting some skiff bearings on there. So we're about to check out the action here. Let's just go ahead and do that. First things first, I mean, pretty lightweight, honestly. Super lightweight. That probably has to do with these fat carbon inserts, which look really nice, to say the least. That looks really good right there. Really digging the milling, right? Got the line milling going up right there. That looks really nice. Always as expected from American Blade Works, and it is made in the USA, as it says in the pivot there. Right, nice captive pivot with the ABW logo on that side. And what's interesting about this one is the button lock. Right, we got a button lock combination. It's a plunge lock button lock. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing open here, shall we? Here we go. Bam, moment of truth. Whoa. What is going on with this blade here? Man, oh man, check out sort of like the milling going on this grind. That looks really, this bevel here looks really unique. That looks savage right there. Definitely has, yeah, like that little steps going to it, like a little, you know, ladder, like little, you know, steps going on there, which looks really good. You can feel those lines going all the way through, which looks really nice. We have a really good looking drop point blade on here. Good belly right there. And of course, everyone's favorite steel, very popular recently, the Magna Cut. And I've checked out a few other American Blade Work models here in the channel with Magna Cut as well. Love that steel. One of my all-time favorites. But I think the milling here definitely takes the cake for me. So tastefully done. Looks so good. I don't even think the camera is even doing it justice right now, how good that looks. And of course, I like what they did here, right? Nice little plunge grind going on there for sharpening life. Puts a smile on my face. I know it definitely is going to put a smile on Jared's face from Nice Knives. And I bet this thing is a laser beam. It is a flat grind going on here. And man, oh man, I can't wait to do a scientific cutting test with this knife here a little bit later in the video. But man, first impressions, you know, as you would expect, I think the handle is very similar to some other models. And ergonomically speaking, it feels really good on hand. Nice bevel or contouring all around the handle right there. Pocket clip is nice and straight. As you've you've seen in other models before, and it's titanium as well, right? All this entire titanium build looks really, really nice. And I feel like the carbon fiber right there gives it a nice pop right there, which looks really good. And let's just go ahead and test the button lock here on the return. There we go. This guy is, of course, on ball bearings, so might take a little bit of fine tuning there to get a feel for it, how much flick of the wrist it takes. All right, for one thing, here's an example of how to do a button lock the right way, right? Notice how the button is barely, if anything, protruding out of the handle, if at all. That's the way to do it. And even when the knife is closed, it almost by hair, almost sits flat right there with the handle, which is really, really good, right? Very premium, very high quality. So that is really, really sweet. So the button lock, of course, is really nice. You can see it here in action, right? Plunge lock style button lock, as you're used to in so many other knives. I'm glad they brought it here to the, I believe this might be the Model 1 if I'm not mistaken. I'll put it on the screen if I'm completely wrong. But yeah, nice lock up there. Rock solid, by the way, no up and down, no side to side. Solid stuff there. And yeah, nice little drop shutty action there on the return. Now, these are some awesome thumb studs right here. Check out the milling on these. They look so elegant, so high quality, so well done. And yeah, thumb deployment feels good, right? Now, you don't have a detent here. The plunge lock works as your detent, but you're able to build just enough pressure there to fire that thing with an attitude. Whoo-bam, just like that. Boom. And the reverse flick, right? I always like to reverse flick with the nail of my index finger. I'm sorry, middle finger if I can, and bam, I sure can. Look at that. Bam. Boom. Bam. All right, that's a nice thwack to it on the open. I like that. And of course, it is milled on the inside. Nice hollowed out on the inside, so that helps with the weight department there quite a bit. And if I haven't already said this, the pocket clip is reversible, right? On the other side, you have screws there and a nice little insert, a little section there, milled out section for the pocket clip. Beautiful and tasteful looking back spacer here, which looks really nice. Also crown jimping going all around. I mean, all in all, I mean, you got to give the guy credit, right? Doing this out of his own shop himself. The fit and finish on this thing is amazing. Amazing. Also, the quality overall looks so nice. And the, you know me, I like mill titanium every day of the week. That is my go-to. And having this mill pattern here with the carbon, fat carbon combination there is really nice. Check this out. Steve even went, yes, yes, he did. Yes, he did, right? Talk about attention to detail. So there are lines going, up and down, right? Or vertically here on the handle. That same pattern of milling is carried into the carbon fiber. How nice is that, right? You can see it here. If I just run my nail through it, right, you can see it has the same line milling going on there vertically. That is attention to detail. He could have just, made it flat, flat surface or what have you, but does have a matching, right, vertical line milling going on. That is sweet. That is sweet, and I can definitely appreciate that small detail, right? Something as small as that in my book is pretty sweet. Definitely appreciate that. The alignment here is really good, right? The tip doesn't go anywhere close to the end, but it's in a safe spot, so you don't really feel it that much. Well, I guess if you really push your finger down, probably feel the tip just a tad bit, but I mean, at that point, how often do you do that? The way to carry the knife, it should be against the seam, back seam of your pocket. So your hand should be basically on this other side here, if anything. But yeah, awesome action here, right? You can see this one being pretty fidgety. Those skiff bearings, right? Again, it's a brand new knife, so I got to calibrate how much flick of the wrist it takes to close. And I can tell it has to be pushed in all the way in order for it to drop, obviously, otherwise it won't. Ooh, reverse flick, money every time, ergonomically. Feels good. Nice jimping there on the blade. Ooh, all right, so let's do our very scientific cutting test, shall we? I got a piece of paper here. There we go. Well, bam. Wow. Yeah, that Magna cut is putting in some work, no doubt about that. It is very slicey. It's going to go through this paper like nobody's business. Check this thing out. I can make all kinds of swirls that I want on here. Not a problem at all. As long as I have a good initial bite, right? And so, you know, I know the paper is bending a bit after I made plenty of cuts to it, but yeah, super slicey. Is going to go through that paper, no issues. Here is a piece of Amazon cardboard box here, and single wall and a dual wall here towards the end. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular like this, but rather at an angle for best performance. And this guy already wants to go into the cardboard with barely any weight at all, right? So I'm barely putting any pressure on it. It already wants to cut through the cardboard. So let's just see it in action here. I'm going to do a little bit slower than usual. All right, got to make sure I don't sink the corner there of the edge, and that should be okay. Wow. Wow. So my first impression was, okay, this whole step ladder, little milling going on instead of a full flat grind, you know, might be an issue. It probably is going to create some friction with the material, but in reality, it doesn't. Still glides to the material like butter. Right? Check it out. That is some slicing performance there. As I mean, if I ever seen one, I put a lot of knives through this camera lens here, recording videos for you guys, but very little do I see a knife that is just, you know, so nicely sharp, right? Effortlessly cutting through material like nobody's business. And that is, you know, Magna Cut also, you know, right? Gives a lot of credit there. I know the heat treatment on this thing is spot on, right? And also, I mean, cutting performance right there. It's outstanding. Now, this is not a brand new knife, right? Even though you saw me take it out of the pouch here, it is a pass-around knife. So it's been going around different channels. Yours truly finally getting a chance to check it out here at last. And it's still holding a pretty savage edge, if you ask me, right? You guys rate it in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy? Let me know. But honestly, I mean, I'm not sure if the camera even does it justice. On hand, this thing feels sharp. Let's do a quick size comparison on this bad boy. Now we're talking about a large knife here. Okay, here it is next to the PM2 and Para 3. All right, so a little bit bigger than the Para 3. All right, you guys take a look there for yourself. More or less closer to the PM2, although just a little bit shorter. Here are the Demko brothers, the AD 20.5 with the mill titanium. I've been carrying, you saw unbox this other knife, and the Shark Cub right here, smaller brother, right? Both with 20 CV steel. The Shark Cub is smaller, of course. Even the AD 20.5 is a little bit smaller, right? As you can see. Here's the very popular Civivi Vision FG, right? Very close match right there. Right, highly recommended EDC knife right there from last year. And so is the Sentinel Strike. Now, Sentinel Strike is definitely going to be a little bit bigger for sure, right? The Vision FG is very comparable, as you can see. The, of course, Vosteed Raccoon, also highly recommendable, and the CJRB Pyrite. Now, of course, I choose these guys because I'm pretty sure you probably own, right? If you're into knives, if you're into EDC and things like that, you probably own some of these budget bangers right here. Very popular, highly recommendable. Can't go wrong with the Raccoon or the Pyrite for that matter. And both of which are going to be just a little bit shorter than the American Blade Works model right there. Last but not least, here are some other premium knives, right? There's the Caladan V2 from Tuya Knives, a Skeleton Works, Blade Works design. That's going to be a little bit bigger. One of my all-time favorites, the Vosteed RSKAOS, titanium and M390 steel going on there. That one's going to be just a tad bit larger as well. But again, the idea here is just to give you a ballpark. If you own any of these knives, then now you more or less know kind of where it lands. But other than that, guys, you know the drill by now, right? This is just an unboxing, first impressions, reactions video. I want to be carrying this guy here for a little bit of time and then try to gather as much feedback as I can before I have to send this knife forward. And then I'll be recording and sharing a review video with you also. If you're not yet subscribed, this will be a time to do so. If you haven't yet liked the video, this will be a great time to smash that like button. It really helps push the video to a larger audience. Really checking it out here with my left hand because, again, as a button lock, right, it makes for a very ambidextrous friendly knife. You would just use your index finger to actuate the button instead of your thumb if you're right-handed. But that being said, yeah, it works really good. As you know, my dexterity left the chat a long time ago or ever with my left hand, but somehow I'm able, you know, I'm managing to use this knife just fine. So if you're lefty by nature, then obviously this knife is going to feel right at home for you as well. and the pocket clip is reversible, so you have that. So awesome experience so far. I'm excited to carry this one. You know, this knife is going right in the pocket the moment this video is over. I'm excited for this one, guys. If you like seeing content like this, again, subscribe. You can support the channel on Patreon or right here on YouTube. By becoming a channel member, you'll get access to exclusive perks. Let me know in the comments what kind of questions do you have about this knife, what concerns, questions in general do you want to know about this knife. Make sure to let me know down below. If you made it to the end, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Check out these 2 videos right there on the screen. If you like American Blade Works, you're sure to get like these 2 other models I've been able to check out in the past. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.